You already know what time it is. It's that official time. Where we take this worldwide. Let's go. Listen. So now it's time to turn it up. Surf the radio waves as we begin to burn it up. We all up in your area like landscape. Definitely bringing you the pancakes. It's a mandate that you tune in. It's time to move out so we can move in and recognize that this is no illusion. I'm here to clear the air so that there is no confusion. It all started off in the book of Genesis when Jacob was wrestling with who he thought was his nemesis. And when the man saw he couldn't overpower him, he touched his hip but he really couldn't devour him. And from that point then we hear a name change, rearrange the game, so now we gotta change lanes. So I'm here to let you know it's time to listen to the Pancake and Power Slam show. Let's go. Turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam show. Turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam show. Turn it up.
And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. It's Dr. Chris Featherstone, episode 452 of the Pancakes and Powerslams show. Can you believe that? 452 weeks straight. Haven't missed a single week. 452 straight weeks of the Pancakes and Powerslams show. Now, that is something to be excited about. And so, listen, we're going to talk about Survivor Series. We're going to do some Ask Chris questions. And that's it. So thanks, everybody. Once again, every time, every single day. I mean, every single week we jump on here. It's fun. It's super fun. Lots of people here in the PNP Nation ready to rock. Chris is ready to rock. Marissa's ready to rock. Christopher's ready to rock. Brendan's ready to rock. Jody with the funniest Chris Feathers time. Oh, hey, almost president Chris Feathers time. Remember the voting was rigged. It was rigged. It cheated. It rigged. It was rigged. There's a lot of rigging. There's a lot of rigging here. There's a lot of rigging there. It's just a bunch of rigging. It was cheating. There's lots of rigging. Chris Featherstone should be champion. He should be the president of the United States right now. It should be him. There's lots of rigging, lots of cheating, lots of rigs. There you go. Josh, how you doing tonight? Sorry I didn't come in. Last week it was rough for me. Well, I hope you're feeling better, Josh. I'm praying for you, man. Ask Dr. Chris. Shout out to Marissa with the correct hashtag and starting off with the beginning with the first question. What grade would I give Survivor Series? I would give it a C plus. I'll give it a C plus. Only because the quality of the matches were good overall, but I mean, it was a nothing pay-per-view. It was, and it's so sad to say that the second oldest pay-per-view of WWE history is a nothing pay-per-view. And that's sad. There's nothing that came out of it. It was a nothing pay-per-view. I'd imagine the only thing that really came out of it was the winning Raw team somehow incorporating into a 6-man, but you added Lashley and Randy Orton in there, so it really didn't mean much, man. So it was really a nothing show. Didn't lead nothing. Roman versus Drew was a really good match, but it was a bad call. There was absolutely no point at all to have Drew McIntyre be in that match and lose the match to a choke, to pass out, I guess. It did nothing. I really hope, I really hope that this shows that WWE that they should cancel this concept. I love the traditional Survivor Series. I've heard around lots of social media and stuff like that. People thinking they should cancel Survivor Series. I don't think so. I guess since I'm such an old school wrestling fan, I don't think they should cancel Survivor Series. What I think they should do is I think they should bring back the meaning of the multi-person tag matches. That's what I think you should do. So, I mean, listen, if you do those Raw and SmackDown matches, I don't think it should be network. I mean, come on now. Like, we're really doing network versus network here? Raw with USA in the back of their shirts and SmackDown with Fox on the backs of their on the back of their shirts. Now, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. So what I think what should happen is they should bring back the traditional meaning of the traditional matches, which is usually one of two reasons, right? So you would have either one, you would have a big feud, and so basically my boys are coming with me, and the feuds, as we saw with Hogan and Andre back in '87, or it's a compilation of feuds wrapped up in matches, which again is fine. There's some meaning behind it. So, like for instance, I think we did this in last week with 1990. So let's just do 1991, for instance. All right, 1991. Let's look at the matches. You had the Mountie, Ric Flair, the Warlord, and Ted DiBiase against Bret Hart, the British Bulldog, Roddy Piper, and Virgil. All right, so you had Piper and Flair were feuding really big at that time. Bulldog and Warlord were feuding, and then you had Virgil and DiBiase were feuding, and Bret Hart and the Mountie was a big feud at that time. So you literally had a compilation of feuds wrapped up in one match, and that's how it was. That's exactly how it was. So, and that's how it should be. that's exactly how it should be. Duggan, Slaughter, Texas Tornado, and Tito Santana defeating the Berserker, Colonel Mustafa, Hercules, and Skinner. And, you know, again, it's faces versus heels. You're just not just putting a bunch of, you know, you're not having a mashup of wrestlers just together for the sake of brand recognition or brand supremacy. Like, just it's a bad concept. I say this. I'm saying this ad infinitum because essentially the problem what I see is WWE needs to stop the brand stuff, like the bragging right. I mean, I'm for the brand split, but when it comes to Survivor Series and just having the brands fight against each other, it's a bad concept. It's a bad idea. You had bragging rights. I've said this over and over again. You had bragging rights for only 2 years for a reason, because it was a bad concept, and literally just having. I mean, you like Lashley and Zayn, two heels, two baby faces. Now, baby face versus baby face can get away more than heel versus heel. Heel versus the concept of heel versus heel is the stupidest thing in pro wrestling, because you literally want to create the heels. The heels are one of the biggest parts of pro wrestling. One of the most instrumental parts of pro wrestling is the heel, because essentially you're generating all of this heat toward the heel. And this heel is supposed to gain all of this heat. People are supposed to hate him, hater, for the purpose of the baby face taking that heat away from the heel to get over and the heel becomes champion because people hate the heel so much. The heel takes the championship away from the babyface. That gets even more heat on the heel of we don't like you now because you're champion. And so you're building all of that heat for the big payoff, which is the babyface winning the title back from the heel. It's a tried and true method. It's been going on since the 1930s, 40s. I mean, that's just the art of pro wrestling. It's the babyface versus the heel. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. All the stuff that we're seeing right now is just so ridiculous, man. It really is. It's terrible. And you're really doing the Fiend versus Randy Orton, two heels, and then people are saying they're trying to make the Fiend face, but that's false because Alexa Bliss clearly a heel, and she's the BFF of the Fiend of Bray Wyatt or whatever. Listen, and I've said this before too. If you confuse the lifer, the hardcore wrestling fan, just think about the casual fan. Just think about the confusion the casual fan deals with when it comes to pro wrestling, and that's what makes it really tough. Hashtag Ask Dr. Chris. Josh agrees. Indeed, Josh agrees. Oh, thank you, Chris, for asking this question. Malty, what's up? My favorite match of Survivor Series was Dez. My man, what's up, my brother? Great to have you, man. How do you become a patron again? See, Chris, this is the type of questions I like, man. This is the type of question I like. Patreon.com/Pancakes and Powerslams. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being a part of the Patreons, all the current Patreons. Thank you so much. You see the current patrons, the PNP Nation is fantastic. But I tell you, there's something about the current patrons. The current patrons makes a doctor who has a long day talk about wrestling at 11:52 Eastern time. That's what the patrons do. They allow me to enjoy, have time well spent spending time talking about wrestling at nearly midnight after having a long, full day as a whole doctor and a podcaster, because I have a show before this, which is called Unscripted, where I interview a big name. We do a live fan Q&A with a big name every week. This week was actually the 21st show. Isn't that crazy? This week we had the Patriot Del Wilkes, last week Crowbar, week before that JBL, and so forth. So yeah, man, a whole doctor and then a whole podcast, and then I'm here on episode 452 of the Pancakes and Powerslams. So you patrons allow me to enjoy talking about wrestling at midnight, basically. So on the eve of Thanksgiving Eve, so within 7 minutes will be Thanksgiving Eve, still talking about wrestling. So thank you, patrons. I really, really appreciate it. For the 3-month top tier patrons, really, it's only $1 a month for the lower tier. It's only $4.99, $5.99 a month for the top tier. After 3 months, you get a T-shirt. After 6 months, you get a personalized T-shirt. Actually, that has Wrench Mob on the front. It has the Pancakes and Powerslams logo on one side, and actually has your name on the other side. And after that, for another time, you actually get to be a co-host with me. Shout out to my boy over Tech Pride. We talk daily. That's still one of my closest friends. He's been under the weather. He's been battling some sicknesses and some family issues. So this patron member, if you're past 6 months, between 6 and 9 months, you get to be a co-host, and it becomes Ask You instead of hashtag Ask Dr. Chris. It becomes Ask whoever you are. And then you get to answer questions about wrestling and stuff. And that's part of being the patron member. So thank you much. All right. First time for Curtis. So welcome, Curtis. I think I still got the welcome. So first time watching. Everybody welcome. PMP Nation, welcome Curtis to the show. Thanks so much for watching. We have a lot of fun here every week. This is the 452nd show. I've been doing this show, Curtis, since the Mania after the Tuesday after Mania of 2012. That was my debut show, the Tuesday after Mania 2012. So in April it would be the ninth year that I've been doing this show. Straight, haven't missed a week. I've had some replacements. I've had some fill-ins. And it's crazy because I had back surgery since April of 2012. Here's the crazy thing about this. Since April of 2012, I've had 3 kids. I have obtained my master's degree. I've obtained my doctorate. I became a doctor. And I celebrated this year my 10th year of marriage. Renewed my wedding vows with my wife. I've had 2 back surgeries, one in 2013 and one in 2018. So I've done quite a bit since April of 2012. So this show, Pancakes and Powerslams, has been there throughout the whole time. Since April of 2012, I've accomplished quite a bit. And in the 452 episodes, I've probably missed 4 or 5 out of the whole thing, all 452, because of my surgery. Because I think only maybe once or twice I actually decided to take the night off, and then I had Evan hosted, and then I had I got a big Rolodex of pro wrestling journalists I know from Bleacher Report and other big reputable sites and things like that. So I had them fill in for me. So yeah, I think I literally just missed. I took a night off, I think only twice in 452 weeks. And 1 week I took off because I had surgery. And the other week, I think my middle child was born, and I took on the day of, or was about to be born, or something like that. I think it was on the Tuesday night, So I took that night off, and that was it. So I mean, probably 5 weeks out of 452. So that goes to show my dedication of the Pancakes and Powerslams show. But the streak continues because for 452 straight weeks, I'm starting to be like Raw now, we have not missed a single week. 452 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. So the streak continues. Let's see. Some good questions. Elvis asks Dr. Chris, should Wall go back to 2 hours? And also, should there be an off season during the holidays, for example, the last 2 weeks of December to the first 2 weeks of January? Good questions, Elvis. So, addressing the first part of your question, should Raw go back to 2 hours? Yes, it should go back to 2 hours. I still find no purpose of the 10 and 11 o'clock hour. It's typically the lowest hour. People decide to check out, especially during Monday Night Football season. You're really just wasting time. And we see this even now in the COVID era. You're really stretching out. Like you can feel when it's not authentic. You can feel when you're just stretching it out. A lot of these segments you're just stretching out, like the Lana stuff on Raw. That's a big stretch. And even this week when it became Lana versus Asuka, and then they are BFFs now, and it becomes a tag match. You really could have just done the tag match from the beginning, but you did a singles match, led to a DQ, and then stretched it all out in 2 segments when it really should have only been less than 1. So it's just lots of stretch, man. And it's just, and then you keep seeing the same stuff over and over and over again. SmackDown to me is leaps and bounds above Raw. I'm talking millions, millions. It's millions and millions of miles above Raw. It's above Raw. It's literally so much above Raw. Millions and billions of miles above Raw. It's just above Raw. And that's how it's just so far above. It's like leaps and bounds. Okay. The Jay and Roman thing is by far the best thing in all of pro wrestling right now. To me, a close second would be the MJF Jericho Inner Circle stuff. I really enjoy that every week. But that's a not even close second. It's second. It's not a far distant second, but it's second, but it's not necessarily a close second. I think by far Roman Reigns is the hottest thing in all of pro wrestling right now. Hands down. SmackDown is killing it. Sasha's killing it on SmackDown right now. I love SmackDown. And clearly, WWE can make us interested in something COVID era. So the whole COVID era stuff, as far as the reason why, no, that's hogwash. Roman shows that despite COVID, a hot product can be written for. And that's what SmackDown is. I'm a big fan of SmackDown. And so I think that Raw can take, notes, and it should be a 2-hour show. There's no purpose for that 10 to 11 o'clock hour. It should be 8 to 10, hands down. As far as an off season, no, I wouldn't say an off season, because if you think about it, wrestling is kind of like the saving grace when it comes to sports. You know what I mean? Because it's if they did have an off season, definitely wouldn't be December to January, because you're leading up to December. December is usually a throwaway pay-per-view, but at the same time, it is very pivotal to leading up to the Royal Rumble. So the build in December, the first 2 weeks of January, is very pivotal to WrestleMania, because you're setting up the Royal Rumble, which is the road to WrestleMania. So that's not, if they would have an off season, I would say here, I've said this before, typically May and June and July, that's the most kind of dullest season of pro wrestling. That's kind of usually the off season when it comes to pro wrestling. I would say probably like the latter half of July leading up to SummerSlam, but I mean that's 6 weeks. The half of July, the middle of July, it's typically 5 to 6 weeks leading up to Survivor Series. That's way more than enough time. I would say May to the beginning of July. It's that time frame. That's the dullest season of pro wrestling. This is what I would say during that time. May, June, July. I would have people off. I would literally have the writers writing for people that's taking time off, and you do a kind of like a circle. You just kind of do a revolving door of people taking time off for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. There's plenty of talent there on both brands to literally have a batch of talent take time off. I mean, I don't see. I mean, there's a lot of people that's not really doing anything anyways, and it's just kind of sitting around. It's really easy. I mean, you can book the availability for someone to take at least 3 weeks off, and you can revolve that. You can use that within 3 months. Take a handful of people, take 3 weeks off. 3 weeks off, 3 weeks off. It gets 3 weeks to a month, I would even say. it makes them fresher when they come back. It doesn't feel stale, especially when it comes to different types of uh, angles and storylines. You just don't want it. Just so much stale nowadays. Just give wrestlers time off. Don't take off as far as WWE, but give wrestlers time off. Absolutely. Ask Dr. Chris Brendan. So Kenny Omega said he would be down for WWE and AEW crossover. How would it book if it happened? First of all, I doubt that Vince would be down for that, although I appreciate Kenny for being down with that. Actually, I appreciate Kenny for being down with AEW has a real. I like AEW, man. AEW has a Americanized New Japan feel to it with the cross branding and things like that. New Japan's really big on cross branding too. They've featured ROH and NWA on their biggest pay per view of the year, which is Wrestle Kingdom. So I mean, that would be like WWE featuring Impact and AEW on WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like that's a big thing. I would if I was. I would do like an AEW invasion in NXT. I think that would be really cool, especially since it's a Wednesday night thing. I think that would be really cool if you did an invasion angle with AEW. I would make AEW the heels, of course, and I wouldn't have heels be a part of the team. I think that just really that makes it stupid to me. Like just having heels as a part of a babyface kind of collective team. No, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. So what I would do is I would have both male and female. For instance, I would have like 5 of the top heel, like the Dark Order. There you go. The Dark Order. I would have the Dark Order come and invade NXT. And, you would have some like top. How about this? The Dark Order versus the Undisputed Era. Undisputed Era is clearly babyface now. And what you do is you have the Dark Order come and invade. I would do like a kind of a throwaway match that really didn't mean anything, kind of like Drake Maverick and oh gosh, what's the Sanity guy's name? Oh goodness, that's gonna bug me. Married to Nikki Cross. That's going to bug me. Killian Dane. Yeah. So Killian Dane and Drake Maverick. I would have them go against like Phantasma's group. What's their Legato del Fantasma. Is that what it is? Legato del Fantasma. Legato del Fantasma, right? Yeah, now he's Santos Escobar, but the group is what are they called now? Yep. Legato del Fantasma, yep. So I would have like Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wild. I would have them go against like Maverick and Dane or something like that, and then like Dark Order come and invade that match or something like that. Just a match that really doesn't mean too much. I would have them do that for a few weeks. The Dark Order come in, so someone like a Brody Lee, and then you have like John Silver, even Colt Cabana. So I would do like a 4-on-4, and Dark Order come in, do their thing, and invade, and then Undisputed Era is there to save the day. So that leads to Undisputed Era versus Dark Order. You could do that a couple other people too. But I would do heels though. I just wouldn't bring in that doesn't make sense to me. If baby faces and heels are coming collectively to AEW to invade NXT, but on AEW's program they're fighting against each other. That's kind of stupid to me. All right, so Hashtag Ask Dr. Chris. Looking for some good questions. Lana is the best. Lana number one. I said this on my post Raw show with Vince Russo yesterday. I think that Lana is going to be. I don't think that this was planned, but I think that this is going to eventually lead to Lana and Asuka becoming women's tag team champions. The payoff to all this, and it'll be even interesting. TLC is next month. I can even see a TLC match between Lana and Asuka against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, and Lana causing Nia Jax to go through a table, and that will make Lana and Asuka the tag team champions. Yep, I can see that happening. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Pancakes and Powerslams show. Tables match. Lana. She's going to put Nia Jax to a table, and she's going to win the tag team titles. That's going to be the payoff for all these table spots. Again, I don't think this was planned, but it's kind of organically worked that way. So, and I'll be totally okay with that. I'd be totally okay with that because Lana shouldn't be going through tables every week. That's just stupid to me. That's dumb, and pointless. You have to have a payoff at this point, right? Just taking her through tables. It became super petty, we understood why you were doing it from the very beginning. Like, don't be so petty, and so making her champion would be something out of all this at least. Ricky, I reckon Undertaker's done. This needs to be the. I agree. I agree, Ricky. It needs to be done. It needs to be done. Taker's in my top 7 of all time. I'd say. And I love Taker, man. He's in my probably top 7 or so of all time. Definitely top 10, but I would say probably top 6 or 7. And I don't want to see the Undertaker on my screen again. It's in a wrestling ring or in a wrestling capacity. No, I don't want to see it. I appreciate the legacy of the Undertaker so much that this is a good cap. I don't want to see it. No, I don't want to see it. All right, what we got? Yes, I have interviewed Dale Wilkes before a bunch of times, actually, probably 3 or 4 times. You as well, Elvis. I don't like pumpkin pie. How about that? I don't like pumpkin pie. I don't like sweet potato pie. I don't like sweet potatoes. I like pumpkin spice stuff. I like pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks, although there's no pumpkin spice in the latte. But I do like pumpkin spice lattes from as far as, hot beverages are concerned. I like pumpkin spice ice cream, very delicious, but I don't like pumpkin pie, though. There's actually a lot of you'll sign up, Jody. Good stuff. I appreciate it, Jody, very, very much. I get alerts when people sign up. So typically when people sign up during the show, I'll give you a shout out. I'll shout out your Twitter handle. I'll give you a shout out on site. And then if I get an alert, throughout the week and you sign up, just remind me. I'll give you a shout out. Yeah, there's a lot of Thanksgiving food I really don't like. Actually, it's officially Thanksgiving Eve now. There's a lot of Thanksgiving food I don't like. I don't like I'm really particular about stuffing and dressing. I mean, like I'm really critical about that. I like chicken stuffing. Sometimes some Can everybody make some good stuffing? I'm really critical about that. Not a big fan of cornbread. Don't like cornbread really when it comes to this period, but specifically Thanksgiving food. Don't like sweet potatoes. Don't like pumpkin pie. I'm not a big fan of apple pie, but I like it with ice cream. I just the crust is okay. I love crisp though. Apple crisp. Oh my goodness. Apple crisp, peach crisp. Like peach cobbler is not. I don't like the filling like that much. I usually eat the peaches. I don't like the filling, but peach crisp with the graham cracker crust, just kind of browned and get out of here, man. So good. I love turkey, love ham, love mashed potatoes. Love all that. Green beans. Love all that. Good stuff. Cranberry sauce. Big fan. Big fan. Big fan. Big fan. Michael Thomas. What's up, my man? See you up in here. Congrats on longevity of the show. Thank you much. What's Evan up to these days? Yeah, Evan's making it happen. Yeah, we talk daily. That's my guy, man. We're one of my closest friends. He's been dealing with a lot of family issues, and he's been sick for a while. So, yes, indeed, he was supposed to come back on you last week, but he something came up. Orlando, first time on the show. Welcome, Orlando, to the show. Thanks so much for joining us on the Pancakes and Powerslams show. That's right. Also, the podcast with a broken freaking neck. Absolutely. Nice. Thank you, Jody. I appreciate that very much, man. Very, very much. Very, very much. I appreciate it. Christopher's asking, ask Dr. Chris, what do you think of next week? Triple threat with two great former NXT guys, Keith Lee, and Riddle, and one of my favorites, AJ Styles. I think it should be great. What do you think, Chris? Well, I think it's indubitably fantastic, and I think that me, Keith Lee, will be the next WWE champion. Here's my Keith Lee. Yeah. I heard I'm not going to spoil it for you as far as well, Meltzer said it, so I guess it's not spoiled. But go see what Meltzer said as far as what the planned match is for TLC. So, but yeah, I guess. I mean, if it was my pick, I'd pick AJ to be a part of it. I mean, I think it's really hard to build someone right now for Drew. It's a really tough spot for Raw, man. I'm not really interested in really any feuds, possible feuds even right now with Raw. Maybe Braun and Drew. I mean, perhaps, but we'll, mark my word on that, what I just said. So yeah, we'll see. Malty, my man. I like where all the Pancakes and Powerslam show is good. I appreciate it very much. Let's see. I'm looking for the hashtag because I like to make WWE great again. That's right. You got to make WWE great again. You got to make it real. You got to make it big. You got to make it bigly. You got to make it huge. Me and Vince, WrestleMania 4 and 5, Trump Plaza, New Jersey. You know, me and Vince, we go way back. I know how to make Raw great again. I know how to make WWE great again. I know how to make it huge. I know how to make it bigly, okay? There's my Trump. And I have a good Obama as well. People crack up my Obama as well. All right. Me doing impersonations of Dusty Obama and Trump is and Keith Lee is what makes Pancakes and Powerslams show exciting. Who's that guy on Raw and SmackDown? What guy? I don't know what guy you're talking about. What do you think of what they did for Undertaker at the end of Survivor Series? It was anticlimactical, Marissa. I wasn't a big fan of it. Honestly, I was expecting, rightfully so. This is the 30-year anniversary of the Undertaker. This is potentially the last appearance of the Undertaker. Vince did pull that off. It's the last appearance of the Undertaker. And what you do is have a horseshoe full of talent in the ring. They didn't say anything. They just came out, goes to video, comes back, Vince is in the ring, and poof, all the wrestlers are gone. And then he introduced the Undertaker. And Taker cuts a promo. There's a silhouette of Paul Bearer. He does the typical kneel. And he walks out. Everybody was, I'm sitting there like, there's got to be something. I didn't want the Fiend to come out. I don't want the Fiend to steal that spot. I didn't want that to happen. A lot of people were saying the Fiend. No. I didn't want that to happen. I legitimately wanted this to be an Undertaker moment. I was just dissatisfied with what I saw. I just was. I was expecting something much bigger. At least you could have had the people talk, the wrestlers talk, say something collectively, something. And then, him coming out, what I would have done was I would have had Retribution come out at the end. That's a big spot for Retribution. It's a main event spot, so to speak, for Retribution. I would have had Taker cut a promo. I would have had Lights Go Out, Retribution come out, and they surround the ring. They come in, Taker wipes them clean. Choke slams, mace, choke slams, T-bar, choke slams, the other crazy name, I don't remember what it is. And then Mustafa Ali at the end. Mustafa Ali takes the tombstone. And then there you go. Undertaker goes off that way. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. And even if you wanted to bring a referee in there to pin the 1, 2, 3, talking about putting yourself, do you get that? Do you see that? Do you just imagine Mustafa Ali cutting a promo or something like that? You have Retribution come out, and then they look to the ring, and you have a referee come out, and then they swamp Taker, and then Taker chokeslams the three other people, tombstones Mustafa Ali, the referee pins 1, 2, 3. Mustafa Ali would be a little kid. He would feel like a kid in a candy store or a kid watching The Undertaker in 1993. Like, I imagine I would bet money, and I'm not a betting man. I'll bet money that Mustafa Ali would take that spot any day of the week, any day of the year. He would take that spot. Wait a minute, you're coming to tell me that I'm going to be in the ring with The Undertaker at the end of his career? His last part of WWE was pinning me? Yes, sign me in. Absolutely. 100%. I'd imagine anybody in the locker room would do that. And I think Retribution would have been a good spot for that. That would have caused some type of excitement to come with that and stuff like that. Even if Taker's limited. The reason why I say Mustafa Ali is he's the lightest person. It won't take him. It won't be difficult to just do a tombstone, choke slam the other people. You don't have to tombstone everybody else. You can even do a big boot, to one, choke slam the other. Do the soup bones on the the ring post, the corner on one, and then choke tombstone Mustafa Ali. Absolutely, that would have been a much better spot than what we saw. I was underwhelmed, man. I was underwhelmed, unfortunately. Oh gosh, I hope you heard that in your dreams, Aaron. That would just be absolutely terrible. Why do you think Peyton Royce pinned Bailey? That was iconic. Because they probably just wanted to make it seem like she has a worthy spot on the team. You spot on always on the personalities. Do you think you can do Sami Zayn? Sami Zayn really doesn't have much to work with. I'll because you asked, Chad, I will spend more time paying attention to Sami Zayn as far as just his cadences and stuff like that. Releasing Zelina Vega. Apologize if you already covered this topic. I think it's ridiculous. I think it is. A lot of people are saying this because of the union thing. That was just bad. I mean, that was just, timeliness when it comes to her real release, which I heard was refusing to let go of Twitch. Dude, listen. You're an independent. You're signing independent contracts. Okay, like here's the deal. Like I had Stevie Richards on the show last week on my post Raw show, and he was talking about how like there's a list of things. There's a criteria, and I know there's two. There's a criteria of things of what makes someone an employee or an employer instead of an independent contractor. WWE checks just about every single part of that, about every single part of that list. Every single box WWE checks, but they still call themselves independent contractors. If I'm an independent contractor, you don't have a hold on me on everything I do. Simple as that. Listen, if I was a painter and I was assigned to paint your house in 3 weeks, that does not limit me from doing other projects. Period. Simple as that. And you as the person who's giving me an opportunity to be contracted to work for you, you are not telling me, hey, Dr. Chris Featherstone, first of all, I'm going to own your name. I'm going to own your rights. I'm going to own everything about you, including your social media, for making sure that I'm vetting your social media to see if you're saying this right or saying this wrong. And, oh, yeah, so you're making money via Twitch. No, I want to own that too. No, that's not how it works. That's not how independent contracting works. It's a terrible, it's smart business from Vince McMahon. It's smart business from Vince McMahon. I mean, he's a billionaire because he's got a bunch of independent contracts going out. He didn't have to worry about benefits or paying for people's insurance and things like that. So from a business standpoint, I mean, if people are buying into it, that's not his fault. But at the same time, I think it is. I think he should be charitable enough and concerned enough for his talent to have those type of things. So, indeed. All right, y'all. Let me see real quick. See if there's a couple more. I asked Dr. Chris questions. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. All right. Mike Riggs, new to the show. All right. What's up, Mike? Welcome, Mike. I don't have a southern drawl like AJ Styles, but this is as much as I can get right here. This is as good as I can get. From Georgia accent, this is the best I can get right now. AJ Styles is the best I can do. Nice. Aaron, I think Vince is mad that some talent are making a name for themselves on Twitch and YouTube, and he didn't have an input. That's why he kills everyone from NXT. Yeah, and that's the thing. Listen, so what, Vince? I mean, they're independent. They're independent. So that's that. So don't call them independent contractors. Independent contractor means independence. That's newsflash, independent. Yeah, Mike, he talked about that on the podcast. I'm almost halfway through the Austin podcast with him. It's been really, really good so far. It's been really, really good. I've enjoyed it. I was expecting to enjoy it, and I have very, very, very much. All right, everybody. It has been a pleasure. Like I said, that's my cutoff for now. For the more patrons I get, I'll extend it again for more time. Thank you to the current patrons. Thank you to the people who said they're going to sign up today. Go to patreon.com/Pancakes and Powerslams show. Once again, you PNP Nation, you make it fun every single week. You patrons, you allow me to talk wrestling as a full doctor and a full everything this late at night with you all having fun. So thank you so much, everybody. Everybody have a happy, and joyous Thanksgiving. Be thankful for your family, thankful for your friends, and most of all, thankful to God who calls us to be here. Everybody, enjoy your week of wrestling. God bless. And always remember, I do it for you. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.